Welcome to my channel, where your adventure into the future starts right now. Step into a vibrant universe filled with groundbreaking technology, breathtaking alien landscapes, and exhilarating sci-fi narratives that challenge your imagination. From daring explorations of distant galaxies to haunting journeys through dystopian societies, we uncover the most captivating stories and innovative ideas that will shape the world of tomorrow. Subscribe today and join us on an incredible intergalactic voyage that promises to inspire and thrill. Humanity had always been a species driven by exploration, curiosity, and a deep-seated desire to protect the delicate balance of nature. For centuries, humans had been driven by the quest to explore the unknown, whether it be the vast oceans of Earth, the depths of their own planet's jungles, or the far reaches of space. From the first voyages into the stars, humanity had faced a deep ethical dilemma. How could they explore and expand their reach across the cosmos without leaving destruction in their wake? The answer came in an unexpected and visionary form: an intergalactic wildlife reserve. The idea, born in the minds of environmental scientists, explorers, and ethicists, was to create a sanctuary for the biodiversity of the universe. A place where the complex ecosystems of different planets could thrive untouched by the encroachment of human civilization. It was a monumental undertaking, one that would require not only advanced technology and an unwavering commitment to conservation, but a deep respect for life in all its forms. As humanity began to take its first steps into the galaxy and interact with alien species, it quickly became clear that, just as Earth's ecosystems were under threat from industrialization and climate change, the same dangers loomed over the alien worlds they discovered. With this in mind, the first intergalactic wildlife reserve became not just a dream, but a necessity. The scope of the project was beyond anything humanity had ever attempted before. It involved more than just establishing a protected area on one planet. It meant creating vast zones across multiple star systems, on planets both familiar and alien. Humanity's greatest minds in the fields of space exploration, environmental science, and interspecies diplomacy came together to create a plan. The idea was to preserve the most diverse, endangered, and unique species of the universe in their natural habitats, from the verdant jungles of distant planets to the icy tundras of frozen worlds, and even the oceans of gas giants. But it wasn't just about saving species, it was about saving entire ecosystems. The first step was to create the infrastructure necessary for such an enormous undertaking. Humanity's advancements in space travel had already allowed them to travel to distant star systems and establish colonies on planets that were once thought to be impossible to live on. With the development of advanced terraforming technologies, they had the ability to alter the atmospheres of planets to make them more habitable. However, for the wildlife reserve, terraforming was a delicate and intentional process. The goal was not to reshape planets in humanity's image, but to leave them as they were: natural, pristine, and untouched. The only alterations would be those necessary to ensure that the ecosystems could be protected from the dangers of invasive species, resource exploitation, and climate change. As the first steps were taken, humanity found itself confronted by a massive challenge. The diversity of life across the galaxy was even more varied than they had imagined. Some planets housed species that were barely recognizable to humans, with biologies and ecosystems that defied the norms of Earth-based life. Alien flora and fauna presented new challenges in terms of preservation, but humanity's scientists and ecologists rose to the challenge. They developed methods to study alien ecosystems without disturbing them, using drones and artificial intelligence to monitor environments and gather data without causing harm. Once the reserves were established, they quickly became a focal point of human pride. It was a testament to humanity's evolving ethical stance, from a species that once ravaged Earth's natural resources to one that now sought to protect the biodiversity of entire star systems. These reserves became a sanctuary not just for Earth-based life forms, but for alien species as well. Over time, the reserves became one of the most important achievements of humanity's spacefaring civilization. The reserves were designated as areas of strict protection, with no development allowed, no mining, and no exploitation of resources. They became places of learning, study, and, most importantly, a testament to the idea that life in all its forms was worth protecting. As the reserves grew, so did the scientific understanding of the galaxy's interconnectedness. One of the most groundbreaking discoveries was how interdependent ecosystems on distant worlds were to each other, even in ways that humanity had never expected. Species that humans had thought to be isolated from each other were discovered to be linked in intricate, often delicate ways, and the loss of one species could result in the collapse of an entire ecosystem. By observing and protecting these natural systems, humanity was able to learn not just about alien life, but about the very essence of how ecosystems function, how species evolve and adapt, and how the preservation of even the smallest organism could hold the key to the survival of an entire world. The Intergalactic Wildlife Reserve became more than just a conservation project. It became a living testament to humanity's capacity for compassion, responsibility, and foresight. It was a place where explorers, biologists, and philosophers alike would gather to ponder not just the future of humanity but the future of all life in the galaxy. And as more species, more planets, and more ecosystems were discovered, humanity began to realize that the true value of the reserve was not just in the preservation of individual species, but in the preservation of the intricate, interconnected web of life that made each world unique. The success of the reserves also brought with it a new sense of responsibility. As humanity began to protect and nurture the ecosystems within the wildlife sanctuaries, they also began to reflect on their own actions in the universe. They had once been a species that mined resources from the very planets they now protected. They had once polluted and exploited the environments of Earth. But with the creation of the reserves, humanity had undergone a transformation. No longer was the idea of expansion synonymous with destruction. Expansion now meant preservation, a careful balance between exploration and conservation. This shift in philosophy also impacted human relationships with alien species. What began as a project to protect the life of planets that humanity had discovered soon turned into an intergalactic effort to unite all intelligent species in the shared goal of preservation. The reserves became diplomatic hubs where different races, some of which had never encountered each other, could come together to work toward a common cause. Some species, initially skeptical of human intentions, were won over by the sincerity of the effort. Others, who had long been cautious about humans' motives, recognized the value of the reserves in helping to protect their own home worlds. In these reserves, the concept of shared responsibility took root. The Wildlife Reserve was not just a place where humanity could show off its ability to protect the galaxy's biodiversity. It became a symbol of what the galaxy could achieve when its most intelligent and compassionate species worked together. It became a place where species learned from each other, shared knowledge, and helped each other overcome the challenges of living in an interconnected galaxy. It was in the intergalactic reserves that humanity and other species found common ground, realizing that they were all part of a much larger, more complex ecosystem than any of them had previously understood. While some of the challenges humanity faced in creating the reserves were logistical coordinating with different alien species, overcoming the complexities of interstellar travel, and dealing with the environmental nuances of planets, others were far more philosophical. What did it mean to truly protect a world? Could humanity truly understand alien ecosystems well enough to manage them without disturbing them? The reserves became a proving ground for humanity's ethical growth as much as they were a scientific and ecological one. As the reserves flourished, humanity began to see the fruits of their labor. Species once thought to be on the brink of extinction thrived in the protected environments of the reserves. Some planets, once dying due to environmental destruction, began to heal. In many ways, the reserves became a model for what the universe could become if species chose to put the health of ecosystems first. It became a universal symbol that the universe could, indeed, be both a place of exploration and respect. The reserves were a living, breathing testament to the potential for peace, cooperation, and stewardship across the galaxy. As humanity took on the mantle of stewardship for the life of the galaxy, they did not do so as conquerors or invaders, but as protectors. The wildlife reserves, the first of their kind in the history of the galaxy, were a reminder to all that it was possible to explore without exploiting, to grow without damaging, and to leave behind a legacy not of destruction but of preservation. Ultimately, the establishment of humanity's first intergalactic wildlife reserve would go down in history not just as a monumental achievement of exploration and environmentalism, but as the moment when humanity, once a species driven by conquest, came to understand that their true power lay not in their ability to dominate, but in their ability to protect and nurture life in all its forms across the universe. And as the years went by, the reserves continued to grow, not just in size, but in importance, serving as the cornerstone for a new era of peaceful coexistence, exploration, and universal respect for life.